acquisition of 9 new fighter jets by the Nigerian Air Force. They said 49 more fighter aircraft are expected to join the fleet. And the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, had this to say yesterday. He said the Nigerian Air Force strikes killed 3,496 terrorists in the Northeast since June 2023, with more than 121,000 insurgents and their families surrendering to security forces. Also yesterday, the Minister of Defense, Abubakar Badaru, and Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the security forces have stepped up in their battle against insurgency. And he says over 124,408 insurgents surrendered in the past 2 years, while 13,543 terrorists and bandits including some of their prominent leaders and commanders, were killed by combined forces. According to him, he said some of the neutralized terrorist commanders included, he had to call their names, Abu Bilal, Minoki, Haruna Isiya, Boderi, Kachala Al-Hajidai, Kachala Idi, Kachala Kabiru, Kachala Azailaru, and Al-Haji Baldu. He also talked, Kachala as well, yeah. So he's also talked about, the fact that they have targeted investments by this present administration, which has significantly bolstered NAF's operational capacities. And these acquisitions, these new ones that they just acquired now, will further expand their service capacity to be able to carry out more missions in, the fight to end the insecurity across the country. Okay.
So I have the story of the Labour Party. This is a party that is supposed to, take over the ruling APC. They said their problem, their leadership, they have leadership crisis and it has escalated. They said Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, that's NWC, suspended LP's only governor, that's Alex Oti, that's the Abia State governor, Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Senator Ireti Kingibe, Senator Darlington Nwokocha, and 3 House of Representative members. But they said Oti dismissed the suspension and described Abure as a clown and looking for a crown. But the National Caretaker Committee, headed by Senator Esther Nenadi, which rejected the suspension, unfolded plans to probe Abure and his factional committee. He said it's a new twist to the protracted crisis that had led the litigation that also took tolls in the platform. Although the Supreme Court ruled that the party should resolve the crisis because it's a party affair, but the two factions have failed to close ranks. And they said by this suspension, these former members of the party will no longer act for and on behalf of the party. So all concerned institutions, including the Nigerian Governors Forum, the National Assembly, INEC, and security agencies, amongst others, are to take note. I'm just hoping that they resolve this thing because, of course, the election is very close.
So I took the story of the Pope. The black smoke signaled that yesterday black smoke came out of the cistern, and that signals that they don't have a pope. When they will have a pope, it is white smoke. In the Western world, everything black is bad and everything white is good.
But it's true.
Okay, what did the report say? That's what we say. Not your interpretation.
Give us the report.
Anyway,
so before the cardinals they moved into the conclave, there was a remark by a 91-year-old dean of the College of Cardinals, Giovanni Baltisa, who said, who was saying auguri edopi, which could mean either congratulations twice or best wishes twice. So people started thinking that he was going to be the favored pontiff. And they said when they elected Pope Francis, that was one of the fastest elections, and there was one in 1268 to 1271. That was the longest conclave ever. It went to
1268.
Yes, that's 3 years. It took them 3 years to elect a pope. Maybe it's going to take 3 years. So the 91.
There are lots of politics, so.
Even there.
Yeah,
a long time.
Now, then, the beginning of the politics.
The shortest one was 10 hours, which ended up with the election of Pope Julius II in 1503. So
they've been electing Pope for a long time.
Yeah.
1268. Goodness me.
So
a long time.
They're all in there. So when you see the white
smoke.
pure.
Means that we have
know that
smoke.
we
So
don't
that
have
today
it.
is day 2, and they'll be elected
Yeah.
again. Let me take Nnamdi Kanu's trial. So the prosecution witness in the ongoing trial said that the leader admitted, that's the Nnamdi Kanu had admitted in a broadcast, making a broadcast in which he called for the killing of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike. And there were quite a few videos where he was actually asking his followers through the Biafra radio, asking them to kill and to maim and burn certain facilities like the Murtala International Airport in Lagos. Said that they should also burn down the Nitel House in Marina. Apple leader also told his followers to kill police personnel and other security agents. He ordered that Tinubu's hotel must be burnt down and it should not be allowed to escape. So there are quite a lot of videos and audio messages from the leader, according to the prosecution, and they had evidences which they are allowed to actually show in court. They got quite a bit of witnesses who also came out to explain that the IPOB leader made the confirmations while his statement was still being taken. He said since the trial, there's a particular witness named as BBB. He told the court that he took the statements from Kanu. He was permitted to play some of the recordings of the defendant's broadcast on Radio Biafra, inciting his followers to engage in violence and killings. And there were quite a number of names that were mentioned, people who he told them to kill, like the PDP chieftain Ahmed Golak, and one of the house that belongs to Imo State Governor Popus Odimma.
Wow.
You know, so they're very specific things that he had, according to the
And you know,
audio and video recording.
the witnesses, they are not using their names. This one was BBB.
Yeah. They have to find a way to protect them.
They are protecting them, and they are talking behind the screen.
Yeah.
You know, they're giving their testimony behind the screen.
Wow.
It's better.
I hope the
defense attorney
Council
will come up with
their own
something tangible.
Okay, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars,
result. Let me go and look for my jam result. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to the punch.
Rising well, let me say that thing first now. That they are going to give you a dress. Please, me too, I need a dress.
All of us, we need dresses. We just sent to us for AFVCA.
Rising insecurity. Federal government orders new strategy amid fresh attacks in Borno and Benue. Picture here of the Pope cardinals actually resuming voting today in the conclave.
At this point, I contest my jam result.
Local government poll. Lagos APC pushes for consensus candidates in 57 councils. Power Minister opposes construction of 4,800 megawatts nuclear plants. U.S. helicopter firmed indicted in Wigwe's death. Benue governor alleges removal plots as Speaker's Conference tackles National Assembly. LP crisis Aburi probe begins. Kinjibe others suspended. Okay, which story?
The major headline. So the federal government has called for an overhaul of military tactics to address Nigeria's worsening insecurity. It said the country needed this more than the security summit that they were about to have. So the Senate on Tuesday had resolved to hold a 2-day national security summit to brainstorm a solution to the rising wave of killings and other forms of insecurity in the country. The decision was followed by a motion that was sponsored by Jimo Ibrahim, senator representing Ondo South, at the resumption of the plenary. So speaking during the ministerial briefing in Abuja yesterday, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, had questioned the relevance of the Senate proposed National Security Summit, arguing that what they needed was a renewed strategy instead of having a summit. He said on the summit, yes, strategy is far more important than summit, but summit will also give you some inputs for the strategy. When you hold a summit, you have people, they talk, they take what they have learned, what they are expected, then they go back and they redesign and renew the strategy. So the Chief of Defense Staff was also giving operational orders based on the strategy that they would have developed, after the sessions. So they are saying that the summit can help, but though the strategy is more important, it's also important that they have the summit first of all. Then they went ahead to talk about the fact that, because I know that I had taken it, I think it was yesterday, that they said that the bandits have more sophisticated ammunition compared to our Nigerian army. And they are saying that that's not true, that we actually have more sophisticated weapons. We have more machinery than what they could ever have. The only problem is that they have found a way to infiltrate the people on ground. They have a lot of informants. Yeah. So before the army, our defense team is going there, they're already waiting for them. They are mostly ambushed because they are liaising with the people that the army is trying to protect. But if we find a way to resolve that, then we'll see that they really do not have more ammunition than we do. Yeah. And I'm asking who will now resolve that? If they are able to get information through the army, that means that many of our security agencies are compromised. So the army has a lot of work to do to fish out those people who are giving information to the bandits and the terrorists, so that they can solve this issue once and for all.
Intelligence has to work.
Any other story?
Yeah, so I took a story that interests us. That's they said the 7 manufacturers lost 1.9 billion to forex. They said manufacturers in Nigeria have reported a loss of 1.91 billion due to foreign exchange volatility in the first quarter of 2025. Some of these companies are Nascon, Bua, Nigerian Breweries, Dangote Cement, Vitafoam, Beta Glass, and Becca Paints. They said for Nascon that they lost a total of 55.38 million, and for Nigerian Breweries, they lost about 178.01 million. And then for Dangote, that one lost 11.84 million. and that these 6 companies listed on the Nigerian Exchange Limited recorded a combined foreign exchange loss of 255.72 billion in their financial result for the year ended 2024. You can imagine what House of BC lost how much. And then
I bind the devil. I bind you and the devil together.
You comparing yourself with these big companies. You can see these big companies, they've lost so much money.
I don't even want to lose 1 naira.
So the manufacturers need to do something about the foreign exchange.
True.
I agree. Something about it. So
I just survive.
Manufacturing companies can.
Okay,
try.
so the U.S. helicopter firm has been indicted. So the United States of America's National Transportation Safety Board has linked the unfortunate helicopter that killed the group chief executive officer of Access Holdings PLC, Herbert Wigwe, alongside his family, to pilot special disorientation. And the NTS report further indicted the helicopter company, accusing it for inadequate oversight of its safety management processes. So these are things that are worth suing. According to the report, the investigators determined that the probable cause of the accident was that the pilot's decision to continue the visual flight rules into instrument meteorological conditions, which resulted in the pilot's spatial disorientation and loss of control. So it was his own decision to go ahead to continue that flight, even with he wasn't able to see properly. And the crash, which occurred in California-Nevada border on February 9, 2024, claimed the lives of all 6 on board, including Wigwe and his wife and child. And so I don't know what's going to be the next step of the family from this, now that you can see that the company of the aircraft can actually be indicted.
Yeah.
You have a story in Punch?
Yeah, the popular social critic, activist, Very Dark Man, Martin Ose, also known as Very Dark Man, has been released from custody by the EFCC. We got to know through a statement from his lawyer, Deji who said, who just gave one-liner saying he had been released. The EFCC too made a statement by its head of publicity saying that they had been trying, they had sent him letters and asked him to come for questioning. Their claim is that the arrest is because of petitions against alleging serious financial crimes. And they had been sending him communication and he never fulfilled it. So they got administrative remand and got him arrested. And they arrested him, I think, in front of GTB, which led to the protests from many people in front of GTB. They said that they have the lawful right to hold him in custody. And they have given him, and he's met the bail conditions. But my own is, I thought, I'm not a lawyer. It is the court that will give you bail conditions.
Yes, it is.
So how did EFCC?
No, I think EFCC can also give, because they are the ones that, like the way police will give you bail conditions now, they don't have to go to court to do that. I think they have the power to do that.
Evidence.
I think they even got to court.
Yeah, it's also possible.
So let's move on now to Daily Sun. VAT states to earn more as Senate passes 2 tax refund bills, approves new sharing formula for VAT and retains the 7.5%. Doctors raise the alarm over state of public hospitals. Who has that story?
Yes, I have the story. Should I go ahead and take it? So the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, MDCAN, has decried the non-implementation of 50% electricity subsidy by the federal government. The doctor said the situation has placed a heavy challenge on the operational cost of hospitals, as they are now increasingly burdened with indigent patients. So they observed that the Federal Executive Council, that's FEC, had approved for a 50% subsidy for public hospitals, and since then it has not even been implemented. So this was contained in a communique issued at the end of the meeting of the National Executive Councils of the Association in Katsina State. And they said the theme and sub-theme of the meeting is enhancing national health security, the critical role of medical and dental consultants in promoting equity and innovation in Nigeria's economically challenging landscape, and global perspectives on postgraduate medical career development. It was jointly signed by the President, Professor Muhammad Aminu, and Secretary General, that's Professor Dayabu Alhaji. And they are saying that this development was very, very important for their health service delivery, adding that the federal government must not go back on their promise to subsidize electricity in public hospitals. They said as a body, they are passionate about the well-being of their patients, and also the fact that they have a teeming Nigerian population. So the promise that they have made that they will remove 50% from their cost of electricity was so welcome to public hospitals. But now that they are waiting for implementation, they are just appealing that the government does not go back on the promises that they have made. This will take out the burden on the hospital so that they can be able to focus and give proper health care to the indigents that are coming into the hospitals. I think they said, I think I took the story that was day before yesterday, I guess. And, the federal government was already saying that they cannot pay subsidy anymore for electricity for Nigerians, that we are going to start paying cost-reflective subsidies, cost-reflective prices for the product. But they also said that we're certain people that they have earmarked that they are going to still continue paying subsidy for. I want to believe that the public hospitals are part of those people that the government will be paying 50% subsidy for, so that they can able to give treatment to poor people. Then the rest Nigerians would struggle to find a way to pay the cost reflective tariff. We don't have a choice now, since they say they cannot pay anymore.
Okay, so let me talk about the major headlines. So the Senate has ceded more revenue to states. It has passed 2 of the 4 much anticipated tax reform bills. So remember, there are 4 bills that are still outstanding. The 4 bills are the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill 2025, the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill, the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, and the Nigerian Tax Bill. So now, one of it was passed yesterday, which is saying that VAT will be distributed differently. So before, VAT was distributed to the federal government at 15%. Now it will be distributed to the federal government at 10%. Okay. States used to get 50%. Now states will be getting 55%, and local governments will be getting 35%. So it's more money to the state, which is a good thing. Also, yesterday, 2% service cost of collection was reduced from 4% to the collection agency to 2%. They're going to be reviewing the remaining 2 bills today, and we'll see how that goes. But I mean, I'm happy that there's quite a bit of review going on, and this is where democracy plays out, because there was a lot of pushback when the tax was initially brought to the public. But lots of discussions and reviews have been going on, and I'm happy that one by one, step by step, they are making review and recommendations properly. So we'll take that, move on. Any other story? Moving on now to Vanguard, be our final paper this morning. FG fault reps differs with Senate over security summit. Silence as a silent killer. How stigma hampers mental health struggles. Labour Party moves against Abure, sets up disciplinary panel. Local councils' wards must transform to centers of inclusive development, says Bagudu. Governor Ali alleges plots to destabilize Benue, remove him from office. Defections, one-party states will lead to anarchy, says Jonathan. And very dark money against freedom after 5 days in EFCC detention. Okay.
Okay, so I have the story of the former president warning us that one party will lead to anarchy. They said the former president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, has warned that any attempt or manipulation to impose a one-party system on the nation's political space will suffocate the country and possibly lead to confusion and anarchy. He said that that it may not be an evil thing as it happened in Tanzania, but he said in Tanzania it was procedural in Tanzania and not through manipulation. He said if a one-party state has become desirable for the country, the process must be thorough and systematic, not by accident or political manipulations. And he also said that Nigerians are defecting from one party to another. You can see the way they are just moving to one party. So he said that he also described his clerk, that's described clerk as his father, said that there was no need to look for any replacement for the late Ijaw leader because that will not be achievable as he was a unique personality with a very sharp memory that no one can beat. And he also said that, he also added that Clark was courageous and ready to take on anybody at any time. So I'm just going to leave the place vacant like that, simply because one person handled it well. No.
Yeah, that's story. I think that's, you have a story? That's what we can take. You're laughing,
because I looked for the story on the front page, but I couldn't find it. So I now happened to come across this one about the 18-year-old boy who impregnates 10 girls in Anambra.
Jesus.
Why is that funny?
So why are you laughing?
So he said he first impregnated his boss's daughter and the sales girl. So
Michael, that's all we can take on Fun Page Review.
So they sent you packing to the village.
Can I
So it was the
this? We
commissioner.
don't have time. It's very important.
No,
okay.
33.
You
We are 3 minutes. We are 3 minutes past our
time,
time.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all we can take on Fun Page Review. Going to break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Give for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym, though. You're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No, sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils.
That woman.
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's live camera fashion, where we strut, slay, and sachet, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty. My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name is Uwi Balogun.
My name is Damilola Banire. My name is Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail.
And I dare on top of your view pigeon.
I'm going to bring you bass, boost. I don't
don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This now wetin you want.
After that day, the man
you no go see am again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person, we go give am.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we introduce our guest, there's a story that Ramatu wanted to take, which was quite important. So I'll let you take that story from the Tribune.
It's a story, yes, it's a story on TETFund. They said the managing director of the Nigerian, that's TETFund, Akintunde Soya, has said the agency has so far received a total sum of 203 billion naira and disbursed 54 billion to 303 institutions. He also said that it was disbursed to 293 students and they have all received 24 billion for their welfare and upkeep directly in their accounts. There has been reports on mismanagement of funds and they are trying to explain how they have disbursed it. So giving a breakdown, they said 10 billion from the office of the Accountant General was sent to them, appropriated and directed by the Honorable Minister, and they said 71 billion from the central bank. They said 153 billion was released. We received 71 billion in the first instance, and then 153 billion naira. We received a further 50 billion naira in proceeds, recovered proceeds, and also the total that comes to them is 203 billion naira they have received. He has also said that they want to commend the Honorable Minister of Education, Honorable Tunji Alausa, for his initiative in convening an emergency meeting of heads of institutions a few days ago, where he vowed to introduce a training for heads of tertiary institutions.
So we can get more information on Tribune. Thank you. Because read the entire article. I think you just want to mention exactly what the headline is. Okay, now joining us on the show is a special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on housing. We'll be discussing with her the recent protest over high rent costs in Lagos, exorbitant charges, and presumably unfair practices by agents and the government's efforts to address the housing deficit. Welcome with us, Barrister Barakat Odunuga Bakari. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you very much.
So I'm so glad you're here, and I'd like to invite our callers. You can call us on 020-163-52013, 090-241-63440. You can also send your thoughts, your comments, and questions to our X page on at TVC Connect. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. The reason why I'm happy you're here, because a few weeks ago we discussed this topic and we just opened our phone lines for Nigerians to call in to express their hurts and their disappointment, obviously, when they tried to get housing in Lagos State. I also shared my own personal experience. My nieces moved home and they were looking for a place, and they got a place and they were really excited about it. And at the point of payment, the agent said they will have to pay legal fees for 2 years. They have to pay agency fee for 2 years. And we're thinking, I know this was not small money. So obviously the money had been inflated and they couldn't pay anymore. So we're just asking the questions, who is regulating these agents? Who exactly, how do we, regular people who live in Lagos, get housing without being cheated by these agents? So let me start first with, what is Lagos State doing as regards protecting Lagosians from people like these?
Thank you very much, Mariah. Good morning, YK. Good morning, Ramatu. Good morning. Good morning. So I'll start, first of all, by calming Lagosians down and Nigerians in general, that that Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu hears their cry, and we're doing everything possible for us to curb these sharp practices in the real estate sector. There's an agency in the Ministry of Housing called the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, LASRERA, and that agency is empowered to register and sensitize and regulate the real estate sector in Lagos State. The law was enacted in 2022, and it provides the agency the right to register anybody in the real estate sector, most especially agents, brokers, developers, what not have you. And I'm aware of this protest that happened a few weeks ago, and it's due to the fact that agents are charging exorbitant prices for agency fees, and also rent hikes as well too.
Yeah.
So we have a law called the Tenancy Laws of 2015. It was enacted in 2015. Section 37 of that law speaks to unreasonable rent, and also a section in the said law speaks to how much an agent can charge in regards to commission and all that. It states specifically that they can't charge more than 10%. And the law also specifies that rent should not be more than 1 year. But people have been flouting the laws, and that's why we're here, for us to sensitize the public that you're not supposed to pay more than 1 year's rent, and also not supposed to pay more than 10% of the total sum of the, to the agents. But a section of the law also is the tenancy laws are being reviewed at the moment. Where there's a lacuna is that it doesn't state specifically, it doesn't capture caution fee, doesn't caption all those other fees.
Legal fees as well.
Yes, it doesn't. It captures legal fee that they can't charge more than 10%. But caution fee and the rest of them were not properly captioned in the law.
Charges.
So it's ambiguous. So people interpret it the way they want to interpret it. But we're working with the House of Assembly hand in hand for us to be able to amend that law for it to suit and curb these unreasonable charges that the agents are charging. And in regards to the rents, like I said earlier, Section 37 provides that any rent that is being exorbitantly increased can be challenged in courts, and it's only when you file to court that the court can come in. And then the court goes to the area. For instance, Yaba. They go to Yaba and then check the area. What is the rent going for in that area? If your rent, the rent you increased to doesn't match how much is supposed to be charged in that area, then the court can bring down the rent for it to match the area. And the Section 1, subsection 3 of the tenancy laws exempts some areas. GRA, Ikeja, Ikoyi, Victoria Island, and Apapa. So those areas, they were not, no, Lekki is not part of it. So Ikeja, GRA, VI, Ikoyi, and Apapa were those areas that were exempted.
You can increase.
You can increase, yes. But the new laws now, that what we're trying to amend now, will caption everything. So there will not be an exemption to any area in Lagos at all, whatsoever. So for you to increase, we're trying to have a roundtable discussion with landlords for us to see how we can come up with a gentleman's agreement on how we can meet halfway. Because we all know times are hard. And we're not trying to make life harder for our citizens in Lagos.
Okay, so at some point, there was a time, I remember one time during Fashola's time, I think they said that they can even pay monthly rent if it's possible, like 3 months rent.
I was going to get to that at some point.
Okay,
yes.
That's number one. And then this the agency fee and the legal fees, are they two different things? The 10% agency fee, legal fees 10%.
Yes, it's
so
two
total
different
20%.
things, because
you know that the agents,
the lawyers are the ones that draft up the agreements. And the agents are the ones that do the whole, they take you to the property, they follow to the latter how the property is managed, whatnot. But some lawyers are given powers of attorney to manage a property, but they cannot act in the capacity of an agent, because I'm a lawyer and our rules of engagement or codes of conduct does not permit us to act. There should always be a stop at when you can stop acting as a lawyer, and then the agent takes charge from there. So there's what would I call separation of duties, or separation of what you can do, what not. Yes, sir.
So I'd like to know. Very short break. Okay. When we come back, we continue the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
Men no dey ever get force. If baby not there for her, na the woman.
talk no dey be person, make person no fit talk through inside. But for this country, we know say if we open court in the morning, wetin no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
But we no even take responsibility for the children. Please the man. And that's some period.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are long-term solutions.
We'll be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for staying with us. Please had a
yes,
question.
so two quick questions. The first is if you happen to meet a situation where the landlord says they're going to be taking 2 years against what the Lagos State law has said, who do you report to? How do you follow up on that? That's one. And secondly, I understand the government is trying as much as possible to regulate this industry so that bad eggs do not infiltrate and further worsen the situation for ordinary citizens. But I would like to ask, what exactly is government doing in terms of affordable housing to be able to provide for their citizens? Because even though these landlords are crazy, we still understand that it's their personal money. It's like a private business, right? There's a limit to what the government can do in that regard. But what is government doing to say, we are going to be having affordable housing where it's state-owned, you can pay so and so and get into the place? Is there any plan like that?
Thank you very much. I'll take the first question first. The tenancy laws of Lagos State does not permit that you charge rent for more than a year, even though we know some people are doing it. So it's illegal for you to collect rent of 2 years. The minimum you can collect is 1 month's rent. You can collect quarterly, you can collect 3 months, you can collect a year, but nothing more than a year. If we find a landlord wanting collecting more than 1 year, they can be reported to the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority at Block 21 First Floor in Alausa. And we also have a website that you can report to, so you can file the complaints at www.lasrera.lagostate.gov.ng, and we'll pick it up from there and invite that landlord to ask him as to why he's flouting the laws of collecting more than 1 year's rent. So Ramatu spoke about the monthly rental scheme. So I spoke last year advocating that we can actually start paying monthly because we don't get paid yearly most times at work. And just to get the ease off of the tenants and the landlords as well too, because we have some recalcitrant tenants that after a year, they don't pay the landlord's rent anymore. So it's to the benefit of both the landlords and the tenants. The tenant knows that monthly, this is the amount I'm taking away from my salary, this is how much I'm paying for my rent. And also the landlord does not have to worry that after a year, a tenant might not be able to afford the rent. So it reduces both the risk for the landlord and also the tenants as well too. And on the other hand, the Lagos State government is doing everything possible to provide affordable housing units for citizens. My co-pilot at the Ministry of Housing, the Honorable Commissioner, is the one in charge of houses in Lagos, but I can speak to it as well too. We have some units all over Lagos State. We have in Shongotedo, we have in Badagry, we have in Igondo, we have in Ikorodu that are affordable. We have houses as low as 3 million naira, 2.5 million naira. So
people don't want to. They follow me. They're always on the outskirts. Nobody wants to go down there.
At once. And we also have schemes available to buy one time rent,
it becomes yours,
Yes, and we also have the rent-to-own scheme as well too for civil servants and people in the public sector that we know we can ascertain how much their salary is. So they pay a certain amount monthly, and they can spread it over the course of about 10 years over time. And
within Lagos?
That, within Lagos, yes. And after that, the property
it's available. We just don't know.
Yeah,
let me pause. You have Yakub. Good morning, Yakub. Thanks for calling. You're live.
For houses.
Excuse me.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo.
Good morning. Go ahead.
And good morning to our guests, and then everybody in the studio. Good morning, Sister.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me begin by saying this. As far as I'm concerned, yes, Lagos State is working, but concerning the housing, I can tell you for the fact the government cannot provide enough housing for residents of Lagos State. That is the fact. But I can tell you for free. You know what is happening here in Aige? And then I'm very sure by attention to every corner in this Lagos, it just happened. Morayo, do you know in our area here in Agege, there are some streets whereby you were never told that to be tied. And then the cost Lagos State is working. Suddenly you see those streets being tied and everywhere is looking good. And then at the end of the day, those landlords in that street, in those streets, they begin to increase the house as if they were the one have the money that the Lagos State put in place to do all those streets. In as much as infrastructure is going on, they will be silent looking at them. By the time they put those streets in place and then everywhere it is light up, the housing in that very particular place will be increased. And then it will be interesting to you today again that the tenancy law in Lagos is not favor the tenant at all. It's not favor the tenant. If it's okay, we should be paying 1 month by month. It is not happening anywhere in Lagos. The landlord will never agree to that. Even those ones that agree to pay 6 months or 1 year, by the time they want to increase the house, first and foremost, what they will do is they will serve you a quick notice. When they give you a quick notice to leave, and then will now begin to beg them that please, I don't have anywhere to go. And then they resist that you have to leave. By the time they took you to court, even the mediation center, I don't know, maybe, please give me some time. Even the mediation center that they carry you go. By the time you get there, the mediator will not asking you, where do you want to live? And then they ask the landlord, why do you want this guy to live? The landlord will tell the mediator that, see, my son wants to use the room. My daughter wants to use the apartment. At the end of the day, they'll decide the landlord. And then you don't have anywhere to go. You have to live, whether you like it or not. So basically what I'm trying to say in essence is that the tenancy law, it has to be reviewed. Because one thing this guy normally do is that...
Thank you, Yakub. Yeah, so you've gotten his point.
Yeah.
Let her respond to Yakub, then I'll come to you, Ricky.
I would like to say it is not something that we would like to admit, but even Mr. Governor says it all the time, that we're suffering from our own progress and our own success. Because if we bring infrastructure to a particular area, and then the landlord sees that as an advantage for them to increase the rents, it's not something that is encouraging. But because of that, we cannot stop the landlord. We cannot stop the landlord from increasing his rent or stop development from going to those certain areas, because it is for the benefit of the greater good of the people of Lagos State. That's why I said we are trying to meet with the landlords as well to see how we can come to a gentleman's agreement on how we can make life easier for the people of Lagos State. So after the protest about 2 weeks ago, we've been meeting with the associations, AAN, ERCAN, Naives, Redan as well, to that association of developers, people that are selling homes to all these potential homeowners. And they all had their own complaints as well too. So it's a situation whereby we have to have interagency collaboration for us to be able to work around how we can make life easier for even the developers themselves that are building these properties and selling properties at exorbitant amounts as well too. Because if you sell a property at exorbitant amount, you'd expect that the rent you would charge would be exorbitant as well. But if we make life easier for them from when they want to get their permits and the rest of them, maybe they can bring the cost of sales down a little bit to make life easier for everyone. And what Mr. Yakub said, saying that the tenancy laws have to be reviewed, I said that earlier, that we're working on that for us to be able to accommodate how we can help both tenants and the landlord. The tenancy laws now helps both the tenants and the landlords as well too, but it is just not detailed enough and not explicit enough. So the reviewed laws would caption everything that was left out in the old laws and take care of that.
I'll come to Wike in a second. I have Sholayemi holding from Surulere. Good morning, Sholayemi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
I thank you for this opportunity. I'm a retired civil servant from Lagos State, and I've been trying these Lagos State homes. As the guest said, Lagos State homes. It's as if that place has been given out to most of the PSCs, the directors, without getting through, without following the normal route, the normal way to share these things out. So please, let the Lagos State help us look into the Lagos State housing and then the Lagos rent-to-own housing loan. Please.
That's a fantastic question. I hope you heard it.
I heard it.
So the guys on the grassroots are not getting it, but the guys and directors are getting access. So what are you doing to ensure?
I would say that's not true. That's not completely true.
Okay.
It's a free and fair allocation. Okay. You fill the form, they check your documentation, and if you are eligible, then you are provided allocation to the property. But if you don't meet up to the requirements stipulated inside the forms, or for you to be able to acquire the property, then you might not be considered. But I've taken note of that, and I'll discuss it with my colleagues.
Just to buttress what you're saying, because I remember when this thing started doing Ambo this time, myself, I think a few of the ladies, we all applied. One of us got it. I didn't have the money at the time, but I applied, and I was given we didn't go through anybody. We just did the normal route. We went for when they had the meetings yes. And she applied. She got hers without going to any contacts. Yes. But I just didn't have the money. So I can understand but their worry is that there's always that perception that the director somehow have access to allocate to themselves.
That's not true.
Are you sure?
Not true. Yes, I'm very, very sure.
Let me. Mike has been holding for you.
Okay. Go ahead. It's okay. I was this 1 year rent that you are asking, saying landlord should ask for. What? Because I have someone who his landlord took 1 year rent. When the time, I think he paid 6 million. When it was time for the second year, she upped it to 12 million. Yep.
Times 2.
But I'd rather pay
that's
she refused to take 2 years. She said 1 year, and then
year 2 she doubled it.
Year
2 she doubled it.
That's what I was referring to when I first said unreasonable increase in rent. So naturally, I feel, my own personal opinion, that if you want to increase rent, at least you should not go more than maybe 10% of what you were, 10% more than what you were charging before. But we cannot literally specifically tell landlords this is what you should charge. I had a situation, my office deals with complaints as well too. For such matters, they can write to my office and we'll call them and sit them down together to come to an agreement on how much they can charge or what we think is reasonable. Then if we're not able to sort it out for them, then they can go to seek redress in court and the court can address it for them and tell them how much is reasonable. So I've had a situation of some part of Lagos where the rent was 7 million naira and the person got a letter about 2 months to when the rent was going to expire that the rent was going up from 7 million naira to 45 million. Yes. In this Lagos.
So what did they do? What did you do?
So the person wrote, they called me on the phone and I said, I can't address it informally. So you need to write to me with documentations as to the notices you were served. If you have text messages, print it out and let me know whatever it is that you were provided with. And she did that. And I invited the landlord and herself and she was saying, oh, she renovated the house, or she just put a new roof, or she just painted. Madam, that is not reasonable. You cannot just wake up and say because you renovated the house, how much are they charging around the area? Then we went and sent our field offices there to know how much they were charging. From 7 million, some increased to about maybe 12, which was still okay. 12 was a bit much as well too. So we were like, we met halfway and we brought the rent from that 45 million to 11 million naira.
45 million.
Yes, and we brought it down to 11 million.
Wickedness of the wicked.
But even the 11 million is still much because from 7 million to 11 million.
But for renovation,
for renovation, the landlord
did
did intense renovations to the house. Not just painting and roof alone. They painted, they changed the fittings and the toilets and
Before
all
I come to you, BC, you have to hold. You have Elder David. I mean, this is a really hot matter. Elder David, thanks for calling. You're live. You're live on TV now. Go ahead, please. You're listening to the TV. Elder David, listen to me directly. Hello.
Good morning, ma. Good morning, ma. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this association should not talk of protecting the tenants alone. What of the landlords?
Okay.
Are you hearing me well, ma?
Very clearly. Go ahead. We can hear you. Please listen to me. Go ahead.
I think he's done.
He's listening to the radio.
The landlord themselves have their own problem too, because like a pensioner that have retired, if he spend his pension money to renovate the house with the cost of cement and other that's happening, then you want the landlord or through the agent to give it out at a cheaper rate. So when they are forming an association, they should not talk of tenants alone. You have bad tenants, have bad landlords. Most of the tenants are cause of the problem too. I'm an elderly man. We know what we are talking about. And it's the government themselves should blame too. Because their own house, no poor man can afford it. They still run back to other people. Because somebody will be able to manage and build a place. Definitely. If the agent, without the agent, he cannot be able to rent out such a place. Let me tell you, as far as 1967, I was a caretaker to the senior brother of my father collecting rentage. So it's a legalized issue. If the caretaker misbehaves, it doesn't concern the landlord, because what the landlord gave to him and the cost of the building is what the agent will be able to pass to the tenants. So that is it there. May God bless everybody, not only in Lagos State. It's not quite about Lagos State, it's everywhere all over the whole country.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. So I wanted to go back to the other issue of the government finding, reasonable accommodation for citizens, so that it takes off the pressure on the private people who are building their own houses with their own money. And I remember I used to stay around Ijayi, Ojokoro at the time. There was this Lagos State housing that was done, completed, furnished and everything. No, not furnished, but it was completed. It was locked up for many years. And what was the issue? The people who were living in that area were not able to afford the housing. And before we realized it, it was said that the Lagos State officials have all bought the houses. I haven't been to that particular place in a long time now, so I don't know if that has been handled. But these are some of the things that citizens complain about, that the Lagos State will invest, build, and before you realize it, the people in government will buy them out and then give the slots to their own people. The people who it was built for will not have access to it. Whether you're working in the state's government, parastatal, or you are a regular citizen who's just doing their business, they are not able to get it.
Like I said earlier, that's not completely true. So I would investigate and find out
Ijayi, Ojokoro.
About this particular situation that you're talking about. But to the best of my knowledge, it's not true. Everybody has equal rights and equal access to affordable housing in Lagos. So far as you can access the form and you meet up to the requirements, you'll be provided allocation.
Okay, let me go in a very short. When we come back, we conclude our conversation with our essay. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
The Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Abnifabi Oguntoye, news anchor with TVC News.
My day is usually busy and it's difficult keeping up with breaking news stories, trending stories, business news, stock exchange and what have you. But with TVC News on WhatsApp, I'm able to catch up with all the breaking.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still having this conversation. This is a really major issue for Lagosians. Go ahead, Ramatu.
Okay, so I was going to suggest that can't you guys have a benchmark? Like, for example, if it is Lekki, this is the rent that should be for Lekki. If it is Alakpere, whatever, let there be, this is the rent that the landlord should not exceed. Yeah. So that one, first of all. And then secondly, I wanted to ask that if I come to report my landlord to you, how seamless is it? Is it going to be a case like, okay, is it going to be very fast, or is it a case of like, okay, come back after this month or next month, drag it just the way courts drag issues. So how fast are you going to resolve the issue so that...
So I can tell you for a fact that if we receive a petition tomorrow, within the next 1 week, we've invited both the petitioner and every party is involved, and we try to mediate between them within the space of, everything is done within the space of a month. Wow. And I can speak to the fact that the Lagos Area Regulatory Authority, by getting petitions and complaints from tenants most especially, or from people that want to buy properties from landlords or developers and they were not provided their properties, we've been able to recover well over 700 million naira, and also properties as well too, to people that have sent petitions to us. So if you have such complaints and your landlord is increases the rent unreasonably, or you have issues with any developer or agents in Lagos State, please visit our office at Block 21, First Floor, Lausa, or send us a complaint, file a complaint at www.lasrera.lagostate.gov.ng. And I'll also provide numbers after this show for
usually we don't allow those,
because people that are watching this show now, a lot of people have complaints. Yeah. A lot of people.
So we have field offices as well too in other local governments.
They should just go to the Ministry of Housing.
Yes,
because
we have field offices all over.
There's limited number.
You can also
start doing adverts.
There should be calls.
Let me take this call. Been holding for a Prophet Kehinde, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah.
Morning, sir.
I really... Hello?
We can hear you clearly. Go ahead, please.
I really thank this our Lagos State representative in your view. I'm lucky to have you today. Several times I used to try to get you. My own contribution is, I live in Ajegunle, and the house rent in Ajegunle is so expensive for the poor people to avoid. And I don't know how Lagos State can come down to the local government that In the local government, I think we have super for house, super for education. They can come and get a house, maybe they buy a property and build for the masses, and they can avoid the masses, the poor masses can avoid. They can be able to pay and buy or rent from Lagos State through the local government. That is my own suggestion. Okay. And whether you rent an apartment, the apartment is not good looking, and you repair it yourself, you make it suitable to yourself. Immediately 1 year after, the landlord see how beautiful he is. He will evict you out from the house. And when he evicts you, no matter how you struggle, he will evict you out. They used to get kangaroo judgment in the court. They'll take you out. By the time, where will you go? Where will you run to? Before you know, you look stranded with your family. And housing is very, very important. Accommodation is very, very important in life, in everybody. So I want Lagos State, as my dear sister is there, and Morayo, this particular matter should be ironed severally, maybe twice a month or once in a month.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prophet. He said something which I would like to happen to you. Someone like my tailor, Busayo, she got a nice place in K2 and she was so excited. I mean, she's been working her way up, saving money. She finally got somewhere and she did it up nicely and we all came, celebrated. Ah, lovely, we are charging us so much money. And just 1 year later, her landlord said he has sold the entire house.
Yes. That
She's looking for
very
somewhere.
Yes.
Same thing. Another person told me exactly the same thing. That she just got the place. She was so happy and she was comfortable. Just a year, they sold the entire house. Now, that's how the protection the Lagosians are asking. How do you protect us? We are just starting out our life. We just paid rent and we are happy settling down. How do you protect us such that a landlord cannot just arbitrarily increase the rent or just sell off the building without even some kind of, because we should have an idea. It's unfair to the tenants.
So the amendments that we're trying to do to these new tenancy laws will caption all that and give a reasonable duration of time that the tenants can be informed as to if the property will be sold or there will be an increment in rents, because the present law does not caption all that. So tenants can just wake up tomorrow, landlords can wake up tomorrow and tell you we're selling a house next month and you have to move out, and there's literally nothing you can do. But with the new amendments that we're working on expeditiously, hopefully we'll capture that, and also it will protect the tenants. And the man that called earlier was saying that the laws does not protect the landlord. It does. Yes, so it does. And this proposed amended law would be explicit as to the relationship between both the landlords and the tenants, and the protection for the landlords and protection for the tenants as well.
Yeah, so we have a message from one of our YouTube viewers. They always send in comments. So this person says, what is the update on Lagos homes for people who met the criteria, got the offer letter and made payments since 10 years ago? It's been one story to the other.
I would advise they come to the Ministry of Housing if they have a location and they've made payments. They should come to the Ministry of Housing and ask for the Director of Estates and present their letter to her, and she will take it up from there. And if she is not able to help, they should take it to the office of the Permanent Secretary, and they will be able to address it. I'll speak to him when I get back to the office today.
Okay, fantastic. Any other comments? You're going to say something?
No. I mean, but what do you think could have caused that?
Somebody allocated
10 years ago?
Probably it was just a miscommunication down the line somewhere. Maybe the person wasn't available when because we usually have meetings with allottees. Maybe they weren't available
at the time
of when the property was being allocated.
Okay, any other comments? We'll be wrapping up on this very shortly. Like I said,
so can I say something quickly?
Please.
So I would like to advise Lagosians and Nigerians at large that if you want to transact with anybody in Lagos State, agents, brokers, developers, please don't transact with them except they are registered and licensed by the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority. The reason being is that if you bring your complaints
Later on.
Yes, we would not be able to tend to it as much as we can, because we're trying to gather a database of everybody that practices real estate in Lagos. So if you come now to register with us, or you're trying to transact, you can just go on the agency website, and once you type the name of the agent or the name of the developer, it would bring up if they're registered with us or not. So please check before you transact with any agents or developers.
I think that's very crucial. Maybe that's what we should have done, because we were bad left, right, and center. So, and I should have known better, but they didn't tell me on time. I would have made sure. But thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
We're here speaking with the special advisor to Mr. Governor on housing. We have Barrister Barakat Odunuga Bakari. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Hope we learned a few things as we have. Hopefully, just like one of our callers said, we should be bringing up this matter at least once a month or so. We bring it just to clarity, because the more you talk about it, Lagosians get clarity, and they're able to tell each other, listen, you shouldn't collect more than 1 year rate. So eventually there'll be enough sensitization on the matter.
And they shouldn't increase it
anyhow.
Yes, at a time.
Let's go on a short break now. We'll come back. Hopefully we'll have time for our hot topic and our Gist Thursday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it, you'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's live camera fashion, where we cut, slay, and sachet, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name na Chika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of your view pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this. This na wetin you want. After that day, the man you no go see him again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person we go give am to you, fact as he be.
Men no dey ever get fault.
If baby not dey for her,
na the woman. Talk no dey be person, you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we know say if we open court in the morning, wetin no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We no even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some period.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amaka Rakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer,
and an entrepreneur.
Welcome to our hacker. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an Hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of your view are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service Executive Director, I'm not even sure I had to go to where he works. Well, an ED with the Revenue Service, Leo Umana, sparked controversy with the advice he gave to men on social media. He cautioned against women who don't ask for money, stating, brothers, avoid any woman that doesn't love money or ask you for money. You will be poorer than she met you. This statement has raised questions about relationships, financial expectations, and gender dynamics. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's a good advice? If you have a brother who is about to get married, would you advise him similar, saying that you better find somebody who likes money that can push you? You can join the conversation by calling us 020-1635-2013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X. We'll be happy to read your thoughts and comments. What are your thoughts? I mean, how do you see this? Do you agree? Do you disagree with him? Waike, you want to start?
You see, the truth of the matter is, if my brother or my friend or my son or find a woman that doesn't have her own money and is wanting to spend your money, I will say, you will be poor. This one is not ready to work, or you just stop your money. So that's why I don't really agree with him. Because in that case, please, since I don't ask you for money, I better start now.
At what age?
At what
It's
age?
not too late.
It's not too late.
Yes, you can
because
start
if
at
I'm going to
any time.
take this your person's advice, I tell you, I'm getting is getting it off lightly. So
From today.
But your time has passed. I'm talking about young, fresh people right
my
now.
time has not passed. I'm still alive. What's wrong with
I
you?
know. What do you want to ask for now? What do you need the money for? Now,
Let me
that one has passed.
What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
So, where is the lie? He didn't lie. And when I read what he said, I was just hoping that he would have added a bit more context to it so that a lot of people will understand. Because when I saw some comments, I just realized that many people did not understand where he was coming from because he just made the statement without backing it up. So I'm here to help him back it up a bit.
Our criminals.
Yeah, so with our futures. So I've from studies and also what I've realized over the years, men are driven by their ability to play the hero. Every man wants the chase. They love the chase. They love to be able to, be your hero, be your provider. Not necessarily financial now, right? But they want to be in your life to, be able to help, to support. It boosts a man's ego when he's able to give you what makes you happy. The typical, normal, responsible man is what I'm trying to define right now. A man wants to feel a certain way around you when he's able to take care of your needs. You will see them saying that I was able, in fact, when they praise you outside as a girlfriend or a wife, let me leave girlfriend first, as a wife, you see the smile on your husband's face when he knows that I'm the one that is making this woman shine. It puts them to work. They find at the subconscious level want to be able to be in that space where you are looking up to them and they're constantly providing for you with ease. So you see that men who actually are responsible, who provide for their partners, work twice as hard. It's not just about the partner. They say there's
and they have heart attack.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. They work. Is it the lazy ones that don't die? The lazy men die too now. The lazy men have high blood pressure as well, right? They are just lazy with it. The difference is that the hardworking man, has an ego boost, has more confidence, has more pride in himself for his ability to provide for his woman. There was something I was listening to. They say every man works for a woman.
Why are you holding your head?
Every man works for a woman. Why is a man trying to look good? Why is a man trying to buy the best cars? Why is a man trying to get the best houses? Even our politicians, with all the money that they are chopping, who are they spending the money on? At the end of the day, the man is working to satisfy the woman. At the end of the day, at everything that they are doing. For a woman, I can want to dress good, right? Because I know that Ramatu will see me today. Moriah will see me tomorrow. A man will not necessarily dress well for his male friend to see him. He doesn't care about that. But he will look good.
We see. Wait, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. No, I'm not waiting.
Why you not
because
waiting?
you motivational speakers will kill us.
I'm not a motivational speaker.
Nigeria will die because at the hands of motivational
I'm not a motivational speaker.
You know
I'm a
why?
life coach. There's a difference.
Because they'll tell us, no man wants to marry a liability. No man wants to marry and young women, because they don't want to be a liability, they will go and work because they also want to participate in the money, in the economy of their family. They want to add. Wait, let me finish.
Okay,
they want to add. They want to be part of the. So I'm not a liability to my husband. The same people will tell you a man wants the chase. Yeah. He wants to be the one to care for you. Yeah. Which one do you want women to do? Gone. No.
Should I allow Ramatu or should I respond first?
No, I'll let BC respond.
Let me respond.
We are confused.
No, don't be confused, right? Understand the psyche of a man. A man wants to play the hero. Does not mean that you would be complacent as a woman. Do you understand? You would hold your own as a woman. You will be independent as a woman because anything can happen. It can go sideways, right? You are able to stand on your own 2 feet. But when the man is there, that is not when you play the hero. You step back and allow him be the hero. So we're not saying stepping back is you are lying down, you are lazy, you are not developing yourself. That's not what we're saying. We're saying you can hold your own. But when he's there, let him do the shining. Let him play the hero. Okay. Let him do the supporting. Because you are also helping his confidence to go out there and make it. So when you allow him, when you are the one doing what he's supposed to do, he becomes complacent. Okay, he takes life as, okay, anyhow we see it. After all, my wife is there to do it.
and then you are stripping him of his ego. At the end of the day, he will not push forward.
Okay, so you see now, at the end of the day now, you know that a lot of women have now been, because of this, the man has to have money, they have now gotten married to wrong people. And they don't even look at how much, what they are doing to make that money. They just go in, they just marry you, and then at the end of the day, they go there and there. Exactly. So for me, yes, I can say that is one way. If you look at it on the other side, yes, marry because of, but I think you should marry if you see a guy that has prospects. He may not have money, but if he has prospects, what I mean by prospects, you can see that the future is bright. You can see
Ramatu, this advice is not. This advice is not for women. No. He said, you as a man, if your woman is not asking you for money, run. The advice is to men. Exactly. If your woman is not asking you for something, run, because he will leave you poorer than
so
she
what if he does not have the money? If he doesn't have the money, so are you now going to say that how is it?
See,
we're talking about
I did not marry a man that had money. We grew into it. But I was asking. And because I was asking, there were expectations. I was not stupid. I was working. I was still building. But I was asking for certain things gradually, which built an expectation in his mind that he has to work a certain way to provide those soft lifestyle.
This is me and BC talking now. Okay. I've told this girl, that the truth is, in my innermost desire, I want to be cared for. I don't want to work. There's someone in my heart that just wants to be pampered.
But I think that's a lie.
No, I don't think it's a lie. Because the Mariah you know is the Mariah that likes to work. I like, you see it. Yeah. But there's a girl inside that just wants to be pampered. I don't want to even work. I want to wake up in the morning and have a chef that's handled breakfast. I wake up in the morning and the masseuse is waiting for me downstairs just to care for my body. And the kids, I follow them to school, drop them off, kiss them, come back to the house, eat good fish, relax, watch Netflix, hang out, go for the meetings with the girls, go for another meeting here, and come back. I want that.
Soft life.
But the reality is that we gotta work. Yeah. To put together the life we want. That's the reality. So when someone now says we want to be demanding what? From how? How are you going to be demanding? Because we need to work together. Because I cannot kill the person I'm working. My mom said the woman is going to carry AK-47. See, I can't let you. I can't force you.
In the history of demanding,
so there's a demand. Well, I'm not going to go and kill you because I'm not going to kill you. So we're trying to meet halfway.
Those ones that like money that push their husband to be armed robbers now.
Yeah. Because someone will say, you want me to go and carry AK-47. So if you don't want my husband to carry AK-47, I will walk and say, we'll meet halfway.
A lot of women ask for what their husbands don't have.
That one is a different
thing. So your case now, you said you ask him so that you have the expectations. You know that he doesn't have, and you are still asking.
No. You don't ask what he doesn't have. The problem is, let me see. No,
see the confusion.
No. let me take it. Let me backtrack a bit. So when you are dating, for instance, and you have shown up as an independent woman who is able to do everything for herself, you are working in your masculine energy, and you attract a man in his feminine energy. Now let me define quickly what those energies are. The masculine energy is the giver energy. They don't have to have so much, but you see in the effort of what they want to do for you, of what they want to give to you. Like I said, I met my husband in the university, but in his energy, you see that he wanted to take care of me. He didn't necessarily give me money, but he would, he would put in the effort. He would check for something. The small he has. In fact, his first salary, he sent me some money. I will never forget, 4,000 naira, first salary. Mint notes. See, today na mint note I they use. Put it. I did not spend that money. I used it to show my girlfriend's pepper because they were yabbing me that I was the only one dating a student at the time, right? How much was his first salary? I think about 38K at that time. So you see it in his energy because he was in his masculine energy. Now, when you are too independent as a woman, the people that will come around you are in their feminine energy. And when a man comes in his feminine energy, he becomes the princess. He's the one receiving. Because you're already there. I have aunties to show this example. He's already there, for you to. He knows that even if I don't move, my wife has got it sorted. Okay. And that's the mindset we're trying to change. Okay, if you put yourself in a situation where you're asking, even as little as, let me give you an example. There's an elderly woman, a close relative, elderly woman in her 60s right now. And the quarrel, they are still quarreling, she and her husband, is that the man
still never gives her money. The man has money, but he never gives her money. Why? Because when they started 40-something years ago, she came as a very independent woman who could take care of everything. So while the man was now making money, she did not know. The man relaxed. Is it hair you're looking for? You can get. Is it makeup you're looking for? You can buy. And she, in her heart, like you're saying now, you're a baby girl, you want a sort of treatment, was not getting the treatment. She was expecting the man to assume and know that she needed it. The man is already wired to see you as the one who can take care of yourself.
See, the confusion I'm saying here
is what?
Is that we were raised.
Who raised you?
My mother raised me.
I needed to be sure.
My mother raised me. But I don't ask a man for anything.
Okay.
Work. Have your own. Now, maybe her mindset was that expecting that the man will probably be in his masculine energy. But there's some men that are not in their masculine. Some men are in their masculine energy.
Yeah.
Others are not in their masculine energy. But either way, a young woman, especially women, young girls today, are raised to own their own.
Yes.
So in owning your own, you are used to paying your rent.
Yes.
You're used to having your own car.
Are you hearing the complaints?
So you're having those things. Yes. So the complaint is that the man is probably not even measuring up.
Yes.
So what?
So because you are attracting the man that is not measuring up, you are all encompassing. So what do you want him to come and do for you? You are doing everything for yourself. So you attract the one that is not measuring up. Unfortunately, that same man, because we human beings have both masculine and feminine, right? Is the part that is predominant that you will show outside.
But there are people. I know you'll be putting more pressure on the man.
We're not putting any pressure.
You're putting more pressure on the man.
I
Because
don't
there are some
understand.
things that you should ask.
Is it not made
and
for
there
pressure?
are times there's a period you should ask, and there are different ways to ask a man for money.
The pressure, they tell you
demand much.
Calm down now.
And there are times when you can ask.
See, you're the one sitting down complaining you want baby girl life. I'm giving you an outlet now. You're still, no, it's too much. It's too much. Did he complain to you that it's too much? Let him complain. Let him tell you that it's too much. In the history of my demand, my husband has never told me it's too much. The demands are met effortlessly.
Okay, so
and
what
I'm
does
not
he tell
demanding.
you?
No, listen.
If it's not too much, what does he
listen
tell
now.
you?
I'm not demanding outrageously. I'm not a mad person. I understand that we're building, we're going somewhere. But there are certain things that he knows that he has to do to boost his ego. It makes him happy that I am happy. Makes him happy that I am flourishing. Makes him happy that I am shining. When the praises and compliments come, he will just chill and be looking like he does not care about
this thing BC just said. Let me now give you a response.
Okay.
So your own husband, by God's special grace and mercy, is able to measure up. But a man will tell you, excuse me, I'm doing the best I can. I cannot do more than this. If you don't like the fact that we live in a one-room apartment, if you don't like the fact that this is all I can afford, then that's it. So you are the woman is there putting you under pressure as you should, wants to be careful. But the man said, this is the one bedroom I have. So listen, I have this Volkswagen Beetle, and I am okay with it. Yes. Take it or leave it.
You will manage it. The point is, I will not buy the Bentley with my money so that you will drive it and show off that is your own. Your Mercedes Benz, what do you call it? Your Volkswagen, we will stay in the Volkswagen.
So where is the support coming from?
I don't have to buy car for you to support you now. Our children,
I will stay in the Volkswagen proudly.
Okay.
Let me see what it does to your ego. Do you want me to stay in this Volkswagen for the rest of our lives? No.
Okay.
You will not start processing in your head. How do I make sure that we move a little to Camry on your own subconsciously? So what I see is when the support is too much, you stifle the man's ability to think. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't support your partner, don't support your husband. But don't over-support that he no longer becomes a man.
All the women are siding on Biajulu.
All the men are shouting.
Let me go and
this one. Someone said, this business to get mouth.
Let me go on a short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So for your information, Mikey just called Uncle Phil and told him to watch the show. And he must watch the show right now. So Uncle Phil, I hope you are tuned in because Mikey wants you to watch it. I don't know why she wants you to watch the show. Anyways, I think Ramatu was going to do something.
Yeah, so I wanted to tell her that, okay, so for example, if I'm going to, for example, I'm looking at, if I put my son in front, let me just say, for example, I wouldn't want a girl that will go and be asking him for money every single time. Yes, maybe from the beginning part of the relationship, beginning part of the marriage, you can ask for everything. But there's a point you get to. You as a woman, you should be able to take care of some things for yourself. You understand? Like, for example, you can't go and start asking your husband for money for pad or all of those things. Do you understand?
Nowadays, I see the allowance now.
I don't have to
but
nowadays,
there's an allowance.
But there are some things.
There's an allowance that comes to me. No, listen, there's an allowance that comes to me at the end every month. That caters, so I don't need to write it one. I want nail, one. I want hair. No, it comes in.
That's
just an example.
I think what you just said is extremely important. Which let's not gloss over it.
Okay.
Because when a young boy who is growing up in a home with an independent woman, seeing how she's in her masculine energy. What you're doing, what you're raising our boy to do is, like, you don't need to care for your wife.
Yeah.
You don't need to pamper your wife.
Yes.
So it's hard for your son to grow up, to see the need in being the provider in his home.
Yeah.
So you just said it, but it's important because we might have to actually change the tide so that you must ensure that even though you're making your own thing, your husband is seen providing. So your children are seeing that as a man, actually my responsibility, part of it is actually to raise and to provide for my wife.
Yeah.
So it's important, as much as we are looking at both sides of the divide. But let us not blindside the fact that our children
are
will
watching.
be affected
Yeah.
and we're watching.
Yeah. So okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, you know, because Made grew up, we all grew up in the same house. Yes, Made saw Femi providing for his women. He also saw me being an independent woman. But he is a man that, you know, pampers his wife. He looks after his wife. I'm not saying she's not hardworking. She is. But so it doesn't mean that your son will not grow up knowing his responsibilities.
He might not.
Whatever you call his responsibilities. What are his responsibilities? Yeah, look after the family. But the day and the time and season that we are in now, a man can't do it alone. That's the time and season that we are in. I'm not talking of Obiajudo as oppress her husband into working hard.
But she brought out the best version.
But I pay him now.
When I see Mr. Agbo, he always looks very stressed. He always looks extremely busy, even when he's sitting down.
When he's sitting down, he's thinking, but he's doing the math. Obiajudo will come and ask. Obiajudo will not be asking for small thing.
Why would I be asking for? I've grown now. So the thing is, you know, this point that Ramatu raised was something I heard recently when I was having a conversation with my son. And I also want us to look at the crop of men that we're having these days. Let's just pay attention to the young people. I have a lot of young people around me. So they're having that was in the US last year. We're having a conversation and we're talking about relationships and stuff. I discussed with my children. And it was like, Mommy, there's nothing wrong in 50-50. She brings 50, I bring 50. Why do I have to do everything? And my heart sank. I was afraid. Because the example he has is not 50-50 example. So I don't know where the conversation came from in my home. I was expecting somebody that would be acting like, sounding like he's going to be like his father. And I was shocked. And my heart sank. And why did my heart sink? I was afraid that he may not want to work as hard. The working hard is not for me. Because even if Mr. Ogbo does not work hard, I can hold my own. I have my own money. I'm working. That's what I'm doing. You think I'm just lying down waiting for somebody to take care of me? I'm hustling because I want my own money. And I have my own money. Because you can never tell where life will take you tomorrow. So I'm not preaching laziness. I'm also not preaching kill your husband. Of course, if I kill him, who will marry me? Who will treat me as good as he treats me? That's not the point. The point is he plays his role and I allow him enjoy his role. And at his subconscious level, he knows that he has to meet up to his role. He has an expectation of how he wants to be perceived for his ego and confidence. And that's why he's a high flyer where he is. That's what I'm saying.
That point is taken.
Yeah.
However, it is very, very, we must be cautious to not let that point be the only point, because there's another woman that will do exactly the same thing and it will be seen. It will be seen as you are being oppressive.
Who is seeing it? The society or you?
No, because so your own husband may have the shock absorber
to
take the pressure and be able to.
I'm not giving him pressure. People should not change what I'm saying on the table.
Let me understand.
I'm not giving him pressure.
Relax. Hear me out.
Wow.
Hear me out.
Don't give me a bad name.
I'm not giving you a bad name. I'm trying to reiterate what you're saying.
I'm not giving him pressure.
Understand. Even if it's a slight pressure.
I'm not giving him any form of pressure.
Let me choose a different word.
I'm in my feminine with him, and he's stepping into his masculine.
You're not allowing me to make my point.
Okay.
Please allow me to make my point.
Yeah, so you don't make the wrong one on my head.
No. So if I make the wrong point, you now correct me. But let me make my point first.
Okay.
The point I'm trying to make is that a woman can hear you and see that, okay, the support, let me not use pressure, that you are giving your husband so that he's excelling.
Yeah.
If I use the same support in my own home, I might be seen as oppressive of my husband. I might be seen as I am trying to make him make him what he is not. So you might get results making that support or making those demands. If I do that in my own home, it will be seen elsewhere. So because I do if I do that, I will lose this person to something else. So we might not make it like, wait, your own is the rule where you must put that pressure or put that support or no. Some people might do that, I might get a different result. This is the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, I get your point, right? But there's what they call universal laws, right? Whether you believe in it or you don't believe in it, it exists and it works for everybody. The way the sun must rise and set, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, they beat everybody together, right? The universal law is two polarities cannot work together. And that's where I'm trying to solve the problem from. I'm not saying go and put pressure on anybody. I'm saying if you are constantly in your masculine as a woman, you attract feminine men. And what happens? They become the receivers. If many people have already made the mistake, they're already married to feminine men. And they're already raising feminine boys. Which that's why we're seeing plenty men now who they don't toast girls again. They are the princesses now. You'll be the one toasting them. You'll be the one pursuing them. When we look back how many years, is that what we want for our daughters? Of course not. So I'm saying we can fix it at an energetic level. Do what you can do. There are many ways to support your husband. You give him peace. You cook for him. You back him very well in the other side. Rub his head. You wake up in the midnight when I was still in my early days in marriage and pray for him. I'm constantly praying and blessing him that God will bless the work of his hands, because I know that I will enjoy it more than every other person is. There are other ways that you support. But when you now take on the cloak of I am the chief support, a lot of women don't know how to rest. I am the chief supporter of the universe. He will relax. He will be complacent, and trust me, that money he's spending it on another person who sees him as a hero.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you're going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say that the pressure, if the pressure of them asking for money is one, because you see the
asking for money, say special.
Wait, hold on.
Baby, give me money.
Wait. It depends on what you are asking for. That's what I'm saying. You know what your husband is capable of doing. There are sometimes, like what Muriel said, that when you push him, you can push him to a level where it's not like you can see that he's not working hard. He's working hard, and maybe he'll be working hard, and that money is not coming. But you can't just go and start asking for something, because a lot of women ask for something that their husbands can't even give. Their husbands can't provide it, and thereby putting the guy in unnecessary pressure.
And that's what I'm saying. Don't ask for what he cannot provide. That's not what I'm preaching. Don't ask for what he cannot provide. Okay.
We have to wrap up.
You know, some women don't ask at all.
Comments for us.
Just ask.
Let me take a few comments.
Comments are plenty.
Let's take a few comments. Just laughing. We have just a minute left.
Okay, well, let me take comments.
Comments, you have any, BC?
Yes, I have comments.
BC, Ngozi Nzekwe says, BC, I beg, always take it easy now. You are always too harsh. We are always watching. Gospel only. BC, you are not. BC, us is not saying you should. BC is not saying you should demand more than what your husband can afford. She is saying let your husband be husband and you be wife.
Thank you.
Should support you. The wife should support him. Ghanaian says Muslim women, go and ask money for Eid cloth and hair. Don't be too independent for that. It's your right.
Yeah. Sam Obisen says this is very right on the physiology of men. A man will be happy, even very happy, when he can meet and provide the need of his wife. D-Play says a man is the provider by default. Sakura says, Mariah, we go and rob a bank. Don't worry.
That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things.
I hope you learned
as we have. Have a great day.
If you like, don't let.
You are watching.
If you like, don't ask.
Go and ask. Let's ask.